to develop a technological capacity to create a simulated reality. And then even if they do, this is the second one, even if they do reach this stage of technological maturity, none of them are going to bother to run the simulation. So that's two. Then the third option, I suppose, advanced civilizations will have the ability to create multiple simulations, which would mean that there are more simulated worlds than non-simulated ones. So, I guess to put if it's only two, I suppose it's difficult to wrap your head around that, but I suppose it makes a certain amount of sense.
Well, I mean, I really can't prove it or disprove it, but the one thing that I look at is like when I look at, let's say, biblical prophecy, and then I look at, what the news media is telling me, and how people try to tie in the two as current events and saying, yes, this is happening because it was written in the Bible. And I try to look at the two, and it's one thing when you can write a script and act it out and put it on a network that is believable, and it's another thing when events just happen just because. Like, for example, we can't control how many icebergs are going to actually melt into the ocean. They're going to melt when they're going to melt. But, we'll take a conspiracy theory, for example. The conspiracy theory behind 9/11. We could take that and say that this was an event that could have been created to make a society feel a certain way or to bring about certain events to happen for justification of a certain religion one way or the other. But when I look at, when I look at the simulated part, then I'm wondering, okay, so if this is a simulation and these events are happening, then the creator of the simulator wants a certain outcome. So what is that certain outcome going to be? And that's kind of like the hard part, but like I said, I try to look at a lot of these, like during the downtime of COVID, a lot of the Marvel movies and a lot of sci-fi movies that are coming out. And one thing that I've noticed about all of them, especially with the Marvels, is that when they try to create what is seemingly a higher life form being from another dimension or galaxy somewhere, it looks like a giant guy. The Titan Thanos looks like a great big, huge, oversized Hulk. At the end of the year. You know what I mean? So, how many of these aliens are actually experiments that have gone bad? Human experiments that have gone bad. So I can't really buy the alien thing as much as I can buy. There's probably some mad scientist somewhere thinking that he's found a genetic trait for this to mix with that and does this, and then you come out with this, and like Captain America. Like, I'm quite sure they're trying to build a super soldier somewhere. I can't prove that, But I just look at the opposite side of the coin rather than going with the flow of everyone else, because when you got everyone going in one direction, well, what is the opposite? What is the alternative? That's what I trying to look at.
Reggie, you're a deep thinker. You're a deep thinker. We'll have to do another show on whether we're living in a simulated reality. I'll bring Jim Eldridge back. Reggie, thank you so much for your call. Let's say hi to Randy's in Arizona, west of the Rockies. Hey, Randy, how are you?
Hey, Richard. I turned down all my music, so can you hear me good?
I can.
Okay, hey, first time, long time. I go back in the 90s with Art Bell. I listened to all you guys for all these years, never called once.
Oh, fantastic. Well, welcome aboard.
Well, thank you. You do a good job.
Thank you.
I called you to tell you I've had a bunch of dreams, and it was all around 2018. And they're all pretty short. I can, tell you what they were. Anyways, I had some problems. I retired down here and ran into some trouble in kind of an edgy neighborhood, and got in a fight with a guy who was being a bunch of big family. Anyways, kind of dangerous situation, and I was reading the Bible, getting tight with God, and all of a sudden I had these vivid dreams, unlike any other dreams I've had in my life. So I can tell you one of them, and if we got time, I can say another one. All right?
Sure, tell me. All right, go ahead.
One of them was, in a dream, it starts out a lion. You see a lion, and it's a short-haired lion. You can tell it's in some grassy, looks like Africa type of background, and the lion is beautiful. It's a short-haired lion, which now I know is a female lion. And it's really thick. I mean, it looks like just probably 300 pounds. Just everything's thick on it. It looks perfect. And it's walking in the darkness with almost like a spotlight on it. It's dark, but the spotlight is around it. It's walking forward, and there's a red leash on it. And then all of a sudden, it's walking, and then the red leash is gone. And the lion turns around and looks back as if it's looking at me, and all of a sudden I'm in the lion. And then I don't know what to do. I turn around, I walk, and I walk through a thicket, and there's a bunch of other short-haired lions all laying down in the thicket. And I get on the other side of the thicket, and there's another lion that looks exactly like me, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to fight this thing or what? And I just rubbed up against it, and that was part of the dream that was really memorable. Was I felt it as I rubbed up against it, and I knew it was not going to be a fight. Well, then next thing I know, the lion is, I'm out of the lion now. I'm looking at it, and it's laying down, eating, looks like a deer, whatever the animals are in Africa, and with, fangs hanging and blood dripping. And then God says to me, don't worry, I will not let you fail. And I knew that was him that was holding that red leash, and that was the end.
Well, lions are symbols of courage and power, of course.
Yeah, I looked on the internet. It said that a lot, and not many. I couldn't find many instances where someone was in the lion like I was. But I noticed what you said. A lot of the people that said it's a symbol. Maybe you're running through some troubles. It's just exactly what I was dealing with. So it made sense.
Right. Be alert and so reminded. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion. It was Peter.
Yeah, even in Job, there's a verse that says, I feed the lions just like the lion and a female lion and a lioness in the thicket. And of course, the male lion is God, is Jesus. And I said, it all didn't make sense to me. Why would I be in a female lion? But we're referred to as the bride,
Interesting. Right, yes, the Lion of Judah.
I got one more quickie if you want to hear it.
Sure.
Second one is on Veterans Day 2018. I think it's around like November 18th or 11th, somewhere in there. And for some reason, I went to church that day, and they had all the veterans stand in front of the church. It was unexpected, and I had my veterans hat in my truck. And so when I got out of church, I thought, I'm going to go to the cemetery. I saw them put a bunch of flags down for all the veterans here in town. And so I went by, and I just started wiping off the head, the old flat headstones of all the veterans, and the ones like underneath trees, stuff growing on them that didn't even get the flag. And I'm looking at all these guys, man, all these World War I, World War II, Korean War, and all these guys are so young, like 18, 19 years old. And it would say like Navy, Army, Marine. And I just started getting teary-eyed. I was wiping off so many. So many of them were so young. Well, then I came across one of all the ones that I kept wiping off. I was there for a couple hours. And it was 3 different Marines. It was a son, a grandson, and a grandfather. They're all Marines. 2 died in their 20s, and 1 died when he was like 50. All 3 Marines died, different wars. So I started crying, man. But I'm not a crybaby. So I just was talking to God, and I was just saying, man, I can't, all the things I've read in the Bible through all these people that fought on all these wars, and I just was talking to God, like, what happened to these people? You're so young in life. I know they're accountable age and all that. So I got home, and that night I had a dream, and in the dream was I'm up next to a cloud. It's dark space. This cloud is, I can see like the light coming from in the cloud. I look over to the edge of the cloud, and there's a black horse. The black horse had like reins on it, silver reins, like a sheath for a sword. You could tell it was like a war-born horse, looked like from the Roman times. And then all of a sudden I look, now there's a soldier sitting on the horse. It's in full garb. It looks like a Roman soldier. It's got the chest plate, the leg plates, the helmet. There's a spear or a sword in the sheath. Then the horse is riding into towards the light in this cloud. Now it's like an island up in the sky. Well, now I'm a soldier. And the thing that you heard about this dream was I could hear the galloping, really loud galloping, and I'm riding towards the light. I become that soldier. Well, then the dream ends, and God says, "Hey, you asked me today what happens when soldiers die in battle. This is what happens. This is what they see when they die. When you die, your entry will be much greater than this."
You ride that horse right into the sunset, into the heavenly kingdom. That sounds like a great trip. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that. Great call. Let's see. Oh, we got I love the truckers. First time caller James is trucking in Louisiana. Hello, James. Welcome.
Oh, hey, thank you. Can you hear me good?
I can. How's the driving? Did we lose James? We'll put him back on hold and try him again later. Elise is in Dallas. Hello, Elise. Welcome. Good morning. Oh, we lost Elise. Okay, let's say hi to Bonnie in Nevada. Are you there, Bonnie?
Hi, Richard. Thanks for taking
Hi.
the phone.
My pleasure.
I'm so grateful to be able to call in because anytime I've got so much to tell of things that have happened in my life, and anytime I write it, I'd love to be able to put it on book. It all just gets stolen from off my computer. My thumb drives get stolen. I even put stuff on CD, and they come in and take everything. Copy it, I'll hide everywhere, and I'll get stolen. So this is my only way I get to tell the stories. But
Who takes them, though, Bonnie? Who takes your writing?
I guess you can call the main one is the ET doctor that I've talked about on the show many times. But he also he has minions that work under him that make sure that I don't ever get anything down on paper, particularly about him.
The ET doctor.
Oh yeah, I've talked about him a lot on Coast. Called him about him. He's probably one of the biggest terrorists in this world. Every terrorist incident that has happened, he's behind. And I could go on forever about it. But even the shows that I've done, the interviews that I've done interviews on Lori and Fenton's show, Fenton Perspective, those interviews will disappear. They will actually just vanish. I did on MUFON, the interviews literally vanish. They can't find them, on and on. It's just...
So the ET doctor doesn't want you talking about him?
Absolutely no. He's very dangerous, and he's behind, like I said, just about every terrorist incident that's going on. He's, so he's not human. If he's, I'm kind of surprised you haven't heard about him, but he told me he's from another world, and he's not, there's some agenda being played out that he's pretty much in charge of. And he's told me he's killed many, and what they do is they kill people and they replace them with copies, and they can make an exact copy of someone, and human or cybernetic.
Okay, Bonnie, I'm rolling into a break here, so we'll have to end it there, but we'll talk again some other time about the ET doctor. Who knows? Maybe we'll look back on this show in a couple of months and this call will have vanished. Willie Watson, Gallows Pole, taking us into the break. On Coast to Coast, more open lines to come right after these.
We cross the sea. Father, did you bring me silver? Father, did you bring some gold? What did you bring me, dear Father, to keep me from the gallows pole?
Contractor license 1047-781.
Ken, it's Ken. What's the deal with the flashlight? What do you mean? Like on our billboards and on our trucks and stuff. That kid with the flashlight is me, Zach. Explain that to me. My dad was a big-time expert. So back when I was in grade school, he would always take me with him on repair calls at night. Made you hold the flashlight, didn't it? Yeah. and he would always explain to me how he diagnosed the problem. That's a good dad, that's what that is. And then he would show me the right way to fix it, not the easy way. So that flashlight is a symbol, huh? That flashlight says an expert will always see the problem that the other guys can't see. That's why you make sure all our guys are experts. Yeah, and when you repair things the right way, not the easy way, you're like that beam of light. Always doing the right thing for the customer. That's what the flashlight means, Zach. Thanks for telling me, Ken. Get 'em. Goettl. We know our business, and we know it well.
The tweet covers about 50% of the Trump coverage. He's created it then because of his tweets. He loves the attention even if it's negative. That's why he's the craziest outrage. You don't have to forget, we've never had a president do this before, so they have to come. We never had these. We didn't use that cable. You're asking for the impossible.
John and Ken, weekdays 2 to 6 on KFI.
The problem is, the expectation I have for my governor is that he worries about simple things. There's a couple of very simple things that you can do to keep California great.
You have to walk before you run, Gav.
Jerry and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI.
So I say, like, this show is lit. What does it mean to you?
Lit. It is bad.
Jerry and Shannon.
I'm going back to the original.
Perfect.
Okay.
That was super hip. All of that.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. Lit show is bad on KFI.
You do scratch offs, fella? You don't strike me as a woman who's in there scratching off with her coffee and her donut every morning.
The Tim Conway Jr. Show. Weekdays at 6 on KFI. No axes to grind here. What do you think we are, lumberjacks? How do you even grind an axe anyway?
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
I'm Andrew Caravella from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A barricaded man wanted in connection with a possible shooting has been shot and killed by police. The LAPD says a call came in about a man with a gun just after 4 this afternoon, and a SWAT team went into the building about 4 hours later. Video from a person across the street from where the man was barricaded appears to show a man with a hostage, but they were not hurt. The Coast Guard says video of the pipeline that spilled thousands of gallons of oil into the ocean off Huntington Beach suggests the initial damage of the pipeline happened months ago. Captain Jason Neubauer says video shows the 13-inch gash in the pipeline and marine growth around it.
That has refocused the frame and time frame of our investigation to at least several months to a year ago.
He says the pipeline was surveyed by the company in October and was intact at that time.
Since October 2020, the pipeline has deflected 105 feet, and we have casing damage, and then, of course, the crack.
He says investigators are now going through a year's worth of data to try to figure out what happened. A man from Panorama City has been arrested for apparently sexually assaulting a homeless woman in Van Nuys.
It was very violent, and it was very scary for our victim.
The woman was in a sleeping bag last month under a security camera when a man started touching her and dropped his pants. Detective Leslie Brenner says the woman fought back and the guy took off, but returned about 10 minutes later and tried again.
There was a heinous, calculated attack. Not only did he do it once, but he went twice. And there's also additional footage where he chased her around.
The man chased her for several blocks, but the woman was able to call police from a cell phone. And the way people have been dining out in California during the pandemic is here to stay.
Keep your heart out, sir.
Governor Newsom has signed 3 bills which made pandemic-related changes to dining permanent, including one that allows local governments to make decisions on allowing restaurants to keep their pop-up outdoor dining setups for good.
The biggest fear and anxiety I think all of us have had as consumers, not just businessmen and women, but it's like, please don't take this away.
Another bill signed makes allowing restaurants to sell drinks to go permanent. Blake Trolley, KFI News.
Southland weather from KFI. Tomorrow we'll see highs in the upper 60s to mid-70s across Southern California. A warm-up is expected on Sunday. 70s at the beaches and around 80 for Metro LAOC. Upper 70s and low 80s for the valleys and Inland Empire. Right now, Beverly Hills 60, West Covina 62, Laguna Beach 61, and in Orange 63 degrees. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Andrew Caravella.
New crash in Buena Park on the southbound side of the 5 before Beach Boulevard. 3 right lanes of blocks. You're backed up starting around Artesia Boulevard. In Elysian Park, the 110 North connector to the 5 North blocked by crash as well. There's 2 minors flowing along the main line of the freeway on the 110 North. Santa Monica, the eastbound side of the 10, McClure Tunnel to 4th Street. It's south transport that has all lanes shut down to around 7 o'clock in the morning. And all lanes shut down in Paris. Northbound side of the 215, Nuevo to Harley Knox. Southbound side between Ramona Expressway and Nuevo Road.
KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert Zabucky.
It's no secret that real estate has been a solid long-term investment play for just about everyone. So with rents skyrocketing, how can you take advantage and buy some rental property to get in on the action? Good news. Owning now offers a double play cash out loan program where you can refi your mortgage to take out the cash you're sitting on in your home's equity. Then you find a rental property where your cash out refi covers the down payment. The rent covers the new mortgage payment. Owning provides the purchase mortgage. And boom, you're a real estate investor. Of course, you need good credit and enough verifiable income, but why not call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com to see if the double play is right for you.
For qualified borrowers, NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation and the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Call 833-303-2160 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
That's 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com.
This fall, Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into, from comedy to motivation to the latest bestsellers. Find it all at Audible with audiobooks, exclusive originals, and popular podcasts. Start listening free when you sign up at audible.com.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only real escape. It's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal is going to go. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, if you excavate, your home says so much about you and what's important to you, so it makes all the sense in the world to invest in your home and your family's comfort. Years ago, we called American Vision Windows and installed gorgeous French doors for us, changed the flow of our home, brought light and backyard access to where there was none. They just put some new windows in our kitchen. They're gorgeous, not to mention efficient. Their work is outstanding. I have friends and family who use them at my recommendation, and they love American Vision Windows just like I do. We all know Bill and Kathleen's story. Horrible experience replacing their own windows. Started their own company. 20 years later, they continue to beautify homes with personal care and attention. CSLB number is 778-326. Trust the window company I trust, my family trust. American Vision Windows. You'll see the difference. Call American Vision Windows today. Just got free estimate. 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or for all those specials, go to AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Good Risers. The Good Risers podcast is a collection of 6 mini-shows filled with videos of each thought of inspiration, motivation, humor, relationship advice, and Indian astrology. You can choose to listen to one or all of the daily Good Risings offerings available on our feed. It's the perfect daily practice for anyone looking to lead a more intentional, mindful, and inspired life. Listen to the Good Risings podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The perfect tent is waiting for you at your local
So how did you guys go to Charlton? This is something really quick.
To talk to Rick and Terry, call the Wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk to Ricky from East of the Rockies, call 800-825-5032. From West of the Rockies, toll free, call